I'm Kenny Florian here with Chael Sonnen, and we have with us who really is truly one of the legends of the sport, Dan Henderson. Dan, you're going to fight Jon Jones September 1st. There's obviously a lot of acclaim, a lot of hype around Jon Jones. Is there any fighter that you can remember that has this much hype this early in their career that you can remember?
I don't know. Probably not quite this much, but, you know, the sport's progressed so much and got a lot more media behind it the last couple of years that, you know, he's really benefiting greatly from that. You know, I remember back in the day when Vitor first came on, you know, and they described him as unbeatable or you know, no known weaknesses. And, you know, and Randy came in there and, you know, it's all about who you fight. Right, yeah, evidently there were some weaknesses.
You know, Dan, as a Hendo believer, a couple weeks ago on a Fox show, we had like a foursome to determine who would be the #1 contender. And it was often stated the winner of this, whoever Dana selects, will take on Jon Jones for the light heavyweight championship, as opposed to saying, you know, Dan Henderson or Jon Jones winner. Are you feeling overlooked at all in this match?
No, I kind of love it. You know, it's great. I love being the underdog. I love, you know, I like being a little bit challenged. You know, I feel like it's a bigger challenge, and, you know, I need to step up and prove people wrong. It just adds to, you know, the motivation and fuel to the fire.
You know, in an interview with UFC promoting his fight, Jon Jones said, "It's no secret that Dan Henderson is a little bit of a one-trick pony. He just has that power." He later went on to say, "I feel very confident that I will be the first guy to TKO him." What are your thoughts on this?
Must be a pretty good trick. It's kept me in the sport this long, you know.
Yep.
And especially if people keep wanting to see it. You know, I think it doesn't matter. I mean, people know what I do, and you know, I still seem to be able to do it. Obviously, you know, I try to have a little bit more than one trick in there, and you know, it's more about positioning and everything else. And as far as being TKO'd, you know, I'd love for him to try. You know, it just means that he's coming after me. I don't have to chase him as much.
You know, Dan, in a recent interview, you said, and I want to make sure I get this quote right, you were talking about Jon Jones' wrestling. You said, "It's not bad, but it's not the best wrestling in MMA. I think Chael has some of the best wrestling in MMA." And, you know, I realize as I read this, I really don't have a question here. I guess I just wanted to get that out there. But, you know, if we could form that into a question. You know, look, Jon Jones had a junior college wrestling career. He had some high school accolades. You were a two-time Olympian. I don't personally, well, let me ask you this, without stating my own opinion, what do you feel is going to happen in the wrestling here if you guys end up in a clinch position?
I feel right at home in that position, and you know, he's taller and longer and gives a lot of guys trouble in being in that clinch and using his elbows real well in there as well. And he's got pretty good balance, but you know, I think you know, that's a good opportunity for me to put him on his back.
All right, Dan, we're going to get a little bit away from the fight. You know, you've worked with Jason Mayhem Miller for a long time in the past, and, you know, obviously he's got himself into a little bit of trouble.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this situation? Is there anything you could, you know, talk about here?
Yeah, I guess I haven't really watched or seen too much of it, heard about it, and, you know, wasn't, I guess, overly shocked to hear it. But, you know, obviously, you know, it's just a sad situation. Hopefully he can you know, get some help and, you know, get his mind back where it needs to be.
Yeah. You know, Dan, there's really nothing in this sport that you haven't done or that you haven't won. Coming up on September 1st in this world title fight, do you ever give any thought, win or lose, to retirement? Walk out with the championship, leave on top, come back, defend it, or, you know, if it doesn't go your way, hey, I had a great run. And are you anywhere near the end of your career?
I'm sure I'm not at the beginning of it, that's for sure, or the first part of it, being 15 years in, you know, fighting, and, you know, I'm sure I'm more towards the end, and I don't know how many fights I'm going to be doing, and, you know, I've been taking it one by one, and, you know, it's one of those things that a lot of fighters would always say, hey, I'd like to go out on top, and whatever, you know, I should have that opportunity, and we'll see, you know, maybe I'll want to test myself one or two more times after that and still go out on top. You know, I'm not done yet, you know, and my body feels good, so I'm going to just play it by ear.
That is awesome. I mean, I really think that's all you can ask of anybody. We never really know as athletes when it's over. Dan, thank you so much for stopping in and joining us.
UFC Tonight, Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on Fuel TV.